Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today we've got the Tmnt crossover wave Elite Cody Rhodes, the first and, well, technically the only series of Tmnt crossover figures they have ever done. As you can clearly see, we do not have the Cody Rhodes in the in the packaging, but I am still fairly excited to have this in hand nonetheless. Just looking at everything is so nice and pretty, and well, with it being out of its plastic prison, we can just go straight into its accessories now. As you can see, he comes with two different sets of hands. We've got the weapon holding / mic holding hands. We got a set of fist hands, and one set is, of course, in the white wrist tape, and the other one is plain. No finger tattoo, which is a-okay, but that's just kind of a big miss, especially when they do include the tattoos for some of the people on their fingers. So, kind of a little weird, miss of detail that they could be including with the Cody Rhodes figures that they just don't, which is fine. Some smaller tattoo details don't really need to be included all that often, I guess you could really say, especially if they're trademarked, but whatever. Of course, we do still have all these other nice accessories, and first things first, we'll get into the weapons. Now, of course, we have these unique colored weapons I don't know if I'll ever really use in the pick fed. I might use the hockey stick, just because I don't think I have a hockey stick weapon of any sort, so having the hockey stick is actually kind of cool. But the bat I can just kind of put away. Maybe if I use this Cody on display, I can display him with the bat. Of course, taking a nice look at the hockey stick, there's a little bit of paint chipping here on the hockey stick handle. If my camera would focus, maybe it'll focus a lot better in my hand. There we go. You can see a little bit of paint chip there, but nothing too bad. A little noticeable on the one side, but it's not too terrible. Now, of course, the one thing that's actually kind of neat, coming in with this weight belt, we've got two little slots for you to put the weapons into, which is a nice little detail. Of course, buying this loose, the weight belt does seem to be a tad bit dirty, which is alright. Has the American Nightmare there on the logo with the Cody logo there. A little bit of what appears to be weapon smudging on the weight belt, which is a little sad, but maybe we can remove that without damaging the weight belt. And yeah, it's still a nice thing to have overall, so can't complain too much there. Just a little odd, I guess you could say. Of course, one out of the two accessories I'm really excited about, we've got this American Nightmare hoodie. Just has the Cody Rhodes logo there in the middle, and then we've got nothing on the back, but this nice cloth sleeveless hoodie fits really well on the Cody. Just wish that we actually got a hood and not the collar here, because of it not having any bendy wire or something in it to hold it still. It likes to roll up a lot on the figure like that, and it's a pain in the ass to get it to go back in place. But yeah, I guess enough said with that. We'll just kind of set it back over here. Then, of course, the one thing I've been waiting for, the American Nightmare hockey mask with the red, white, and blue trimming and all the nice black detail in there for the face, the teeth and the eyes. This is a really nice mask, as you can see, mainly based in blue, so I don't know exactly what to say. It does fit really well on the Cody Rhodes, and honestly, I think that's all you really do need to say. But speaking of the Cody Rhodes, let's grab this Cody Rhodes and take a nice good look at him. If I can get the camera to focus, there we go. The head scan is one that we've seen plenty of times here before, but unless the seller removed it pre-hand, we do not have a single spot of neck tattoo on the head scan. So I guess good job, Mattel, if the seller didn't do that. The seller didn't say he did in the description, so I can only assume Mattel just didn't put the neck tattoo there, which is a nice detail, because, you know, it looks kind of fucking stupid on the action figures, but maybe that's just me, even though 90% of the community would agree. You've also got the American Dream tattoo here on the chest with a little like smudging of chest hair there underneath it. I think the Dream tattoo sits maybe a tad bit high, but what do I know? You've got this wrist taped arm, which has a little extra area of wrist tape on it. Nothing too like weird and out of the ordinary, I guess, especially with it not being a canon figure in a sense. I don't know if he's ever worn this gear. Maybe you can let me know if he's worn a gear like this, or if he's worn this exact gear in actual like TV or a pay-per-view or something, because I couldn't honestly recall. This man has so many different gears and stuff like that, it's nuts. But the wrist tape normally doesn't exist, and if it does, it comes up a little bit onto the wrist, but not all that much, not like it is here. But honestly, for the uniqueness here, I do like the addition of having all the extra wrist tape. Of course, coming down into the attire, I love the blue, gray, and gold, and white, since that is like all the four main colors here. I think if not all of them, there is a little bit of black here on the X's, so there's a tad bit of black as well, but I love the way this attire looks. So if it is a canon attire, this is actually pretty dope. I don't know why he would have so many X's on his attire though, instead of having like American Eagles or something like this that he has on the knee. But either way, I still just love the way this attire looks. And the fact that they used Cody Rhodes as a base for, what's his name, like Casey Jones or whatever. I can't remember the dude who wears the hockey mask in the Ninja Turtles series. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Ninja Turtles, but I still did like some of the movies and stuff of that nature. As you can see, he's got a little bit of scuffing on the tights, a little bit there as well. And it seems like it's mainly just around the base where the feet, or well, the ankles connect to the lower legs, or the boots, whatever you would like to say there. But not the biggest ordeal. We've got the American Nightmare on the nice white boots. And honestly, that's all I can say when it comes to this Cody Rhodes attire. Of course, articulation wise, it is the standard elite articulation, but for a figure that was made in Vietnam, it actually poses quite well. I do not see the need for any heat treatment here for this Cody Rhodes, which is always a grand touch. But with all that being said, why don't I get them all posed up for the final thoughts, and well, we can get into our final thoughts on this figure now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, we've got the Casey Jones Cody Rhodes battling it out with the Leonardo Seth Rollins here, and all I can really say is, so far from the little bit that I do have from the Tmnt figures, because of course we have the, is it the Raphael or Donatello that Kofi Kingston is, and then you have Michelangelo as, Yeah, it was Donatello as Kofi, Michelangelo was Xavier, and then Raphael was Rey Mysterio, with Shredder being Roman Reigns. I would love to get the New Day set out of the rest of the wave, and the rest of them I could probably honestly live without. Main reason why I got these two was because, well, I've wanted the Cody Rhodes since I saw it get revealed, because I mainly fell in love with the way this hockey mask looked, but everything else that comes with it is fairly nice too, especially the gear itself, which is such a nice gear choice. I'm really gonna have to see if that is a canon gear that he's actually worn. I know the New Day actually wore their action figure gears, which is kind of cool to see that they brought the action figures to real life instead of it being the other way around and then bringing real life to action figures. Nonetheless, what would I rate this Cody Rhodes on a scale of 1 to 10? Honestly, I think I'm gonna give this Cody Rhodes a good solid 8 out of 10. Nothing too major as to why I'm not giving him a good solid 9. As you know, I don't tend to do 10 out of 10s, because if there's something I feel is even better than that, how am I going to break the scale without, breaking the scale? But if anything, the only things I do not really care for when it comes to this Cody is how the sleeveless jacket collar tends to roll up. And honestly, just the fact that there is the little bits of paint chipping, plus the fact that the weapon smudge on the weight belt is a thing, especially when that was not a thing in the picture, if I recall correctly, because there was only one picture when it came to this Cody, and they showed right in that area where the neck piece, the neck weight belt thing is, and that smudge was not very visible. So unless he had another one and sent me that one, I don't know exactly. But nonetheless, I'm still very happy with my purchase here. Nothing too major brings this figure down, and in fact, if it poses well and it looks well, this Cody Rhodes may rank even higher in your collections than it does mine. But speaking of my collection, we also have the Meltzer star rating, because I tend to do that as well, which is technically just the 1 to 10, but ranked in a 5-star scale. The good old Dave Meltzer match, 1 to Young Buck matchup here. What would I give them? Of course, I gave an 8 out of 10. I think a good solid 3.8 stars on a 5 would work very, very well for me. Don't mind me for using the decimals. I'm not very good with fractions. Anywho, all jokes aside, I don't really have much else to say, so if you guys did like this video, feel free to like this video, and if you guys did not like this video, well, womp womp, I guess, but if you guys did like this video, feel free to go check out some of my other content. As of today, literally a couple hours before recording this video, I did just release part 1 to night 3 of the PigFed's United Kingdom tour. So if you guys have been following the PigFed for a while, you guys may want to go check out that banger of a match that was just uploaded 3 hours ago, as you guys can see here on screen. We also obviously have some other reviews up, like the Sky Blue. Got some more PigFed action there, but you can also stumble across some unboxings and a bunch of different things if you keep going through the valley and the shadow of death here of my YouTube channel. And of course, I do also have playlists and stuff like that. I do need to update some of those playlists, and I think maybe I may make a couple more for the PigFed, do like a couple of pay-per-view only playlists, so for the ones that I uploaded in parts, I can have them all together from first to last. Maybe just have a playlist that's just all strictly like everything pay-per-view wise, and maybe even live events and stuff of that nature. If it comes down to it, I might do that tonight, to be honest with you, but I do still have another review that is ahead, so womp womp I guess on that if I don't. But speaking of doing all of that, if you guys do check out any of my other action figure content, and if you guys, maybe hit that thumbs up and like the video, maybe feel free to subscribe as well. After all, we are so close to 400 subscribers, currently sitting at 384 as we speak right now, as of recording this video. It keeps fluctuating a little bit, it's whatever. Hopefully we'll reach the goal of 400 and then we can get to 500, that good old 1,000 sub marker, which is something that every time I mention it, I still can't believe, because let me be honest, I didn't think I'd ever have this many subscribers, but you guys keep on tuning in, and you guys keep on giving me that motivation when you guys like, subscribe, comment, just whatever the case may be. But on that note, I'm gonna head out of here, so, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever the case may be. I don't know, I'm not in your time zone. I just know it is almost time for AEW, and well, I still have one other figure review to go, so hopefully I can catch it in time, because I am actually interested in Dynamite this fine Wednesday evening. And well, of course it's Wednesday night, so you know what that means. That means we are heading out, so deuces, ooses, yay.